Hello and welcome to another edition of the Ferzoco Group TV. I'm Chris Ferzoco.
And I'm Joe Ferzoco.
And today's topic is going to be about the increasing interest rates and how it affects you, the seller, and you, the buyer. So again, folks, our topic for you today is the increase in the interest rates and how it affects the buyer and the seller. So Joe, why don't you take them through it?
You know, Chris, it's funny, everyone starts to look at, interest rates and they say, oh man, this is really going to affect the buyer. But you're 100% correct. It's affecting both buyer and seller. I mean, even just since the end of December, a little bit less than 30 days, we've seen the interest rates jump up almost a whole half a point. So how does that affect everybody? How does that affect the buyer? How does that affect the seller? So we're going to leave this very simple for you. For every half a point that the rate goes up, a buyer loses 5% of buying power. Wow. So for every 1% the rate goes up, a buyer loses 10% of buying power. Okay, so when you start to look at that, Chris, and a seller's looking to sell his property and he's got a pool of buyers that are looking at his property because he's listed at a specific price. Well, as the rates go up, that buyer pool starts to diminish because now those buyers can no longer afford the property that he's selling.
Correct.
And everyone says, oh, well, but then I got the guy looking at the next price point above me that's gonna get stuck with my house. Yeah, but maybe that person doesn't want to buy a property like yours. So, that affects you as a seller because now your buyer pool is starting to dwindle based on the amount of the interest rates going up. So that just both affects both buyer and seller. And then when you look at a buyer, well, you're getting yourself pre-qualified and you want to spend X amount of dollars on a specific property. Well, if it's going up that half a point or that whole point, well, now your mortgage rep is coming back and saying, sorry, based on your property interest and principal interest and taxes, you can now only afford this much because the rates when they were 3, you could afford it, but now they're 3.5, 3.75. So that really affects the buyer's amount to which they can actually purchase a property for. So it really is, it does affect both parties when it comes to buying and selling. I'm not going to, it's really simple mathematics, folks. You can kind of take a look at that yourself based on the price point you want. But of course, that really is just in a nutshell. When we start looking at these interest rates, which is something we're going to have to be looking at all year, it does affect both parties in a transaction.
Yeah, real important, great information today, Joe. And folks, if there's any more information that you may want to inquire from us about, whether it's this topic or any other topics that we have, obviously, please don't hesitate to send us an email at sales@theferzocogroup.com. We also do have a multitude of other videos, whether it's on this topic or like topics. You can check those out at the www.theferzocogroup.com. And very simply too, folks, if you just want to reach out and give Joe or I a phone call, you're more than welcome to do so too. The phone number for that is 609-318-3439. And as always, from the Ferzoco Group, make it a great day.